Welcome to the Video Zone. That's right. It's a little online video as we preview the upcoming playoffs here involving teams from the Northwest Conference as well as Lummi High School.
Must be state playoff time if we're in the Video Zone right about now.
You better believe it. We got plenty of games coming up, all involving Whatcom County teams. We begin with Friday's matchup, and lo and behold, Here are the Ferndale Golden Eagles, undefeated on the year, number 2 most of the season,
right.
And they get the very tough draw. They'll take on a West Seattle squad Friday night at Civic Stadium that's 9-1.
Only Friday night game of the week. It really doesn't look like a favorable draw for the Golden Eagles. We got the rundown about this West Seattle team from the coach of Ferndale, Jamie Plankovich.
They have 2 skill kids in particular, TJ Lee and a kid that's being recruited by the University of Washington that are really dynamic players. They can take the ball and make big plays at any time, and including on a play that doesn't appear to have anything going for it, they can turn that into a big play. And up front, they're absolutely humongous. They got 6'5", 330, another kid that's 300 pounds, and a couple that are 285. So they're much bigger than we are. We've got to make sure that we don't allow big plays out of the run game from those 2 kids.
That is Jamie Plankovich, the head coach of the Ferndale Golden Eagles. His team taking on West Seattle. That game is a 7:30 kickoff at Civic Stadium. You can hear it all right here on KPUG 1170, the sports leader. Moving on to Saturday, we got a 4-pack of football games. Got a big one in the Nooksack Valley Pioneers, who've had a little bit of time off. I don't know if that's good or bad, especially when you get into a rhythm late in the season. But Nooksack Valley, they will take on Forks, another very tough matchup. It's the mid-afternoon affair, 2 o'clock Saturday, also at Civic Stadium. Nooksack coming in 8-1, Forks 9-1.
We'll tell you, their coach, Rob Meyer for Nooksack Valley, he wasn't a big fan of the 16 days off. We'll see how they can bounce back. We also asked the coach about the Forks Spartans.
They really play solid defense. They're an 8-1 football team at this point, and they've got a great little running back that just chews up yards. He has over 1,700 yards on the season. His name is Luke Dixon, and they really think he's the real deal, and from what we've seen on film, we can't argue. He refuses to go down, and if we don't tackle well, it could be a long night for us.
That is the Blaine match, or mark that, the Nooksack Valley matchup, Saturday, 2 o'clock. It's over in our sister station, KGMI, with a 1:35 pregame show at Civic Stadium as they take on a 9-1 Forks squad. Also playing Saturday, 3 o'clock, the kickoff. They changed this one, so many people that thought it was a 7 o'clock kickoff, they moved it up. It'll be the Blaine Borderites. They're heading to Longview. They'll take on the always tough Mark Morris Monarchs.
That game is at R.A. Long High School, by the way. We understand in Longview, Mark Morris and R.A. Long, they both share that venue. Had a chance to catch up with Coach Jay Dodd of the Blaine Borderites. Ask him about Mark Morris.
Oh, they're huge. They average about 240 across the board. They have a Division I lineman playing right guard for them. That's about 300 pounds, 6'4". They're really, really big. They're going to try and establish the run and run behind him on the right side. And, majority of their plays happen on the right hash for a reason. But I think we may have an advantage in the skill position. So we're going to try and take advantage of that and stay low up front and keep our feet going and hopefully survive up front.
That might be the toughest matchup of this round when you take a look at it. Mark Morris, 8-2. Now, I don't want to take away from any of the other records, but Blaine really got hot when they needed to right at the end, so they're going to try and ride some momentum. They'll take on Mark Morris on the road Saturday, 3 o'clock, the kickoff in that one. Also, another Saturday afternoon affair. It is Lummi. They will take on Oakville. Lummi, this is that not official state round of the playoffs, if you will.
But
this is to get into that state round.
If you lose, you're out. If you win, you're officially in the state playoffs. Coach Sandusky calls it a playoff game. It's at Edmonds Stadium, Saturday at 4 o'clock, and we asked Coach Jim Sandusky of Lummi a little bit about that Oakville team.
They're bigger than most of our teams, a little bit intimidating that way. I think we're a little more physical and probably have an advantage as far as athletes on the field. So, they've got a really good running back, and the quarterback's young but fairly elusive and a decent arm. So I think, it's one of those things where you control the ball and try to get up on them and put the pressure on them right away.
That is Lummi taking on Oakville, as Mark mentioned. That is at Edmonds Stadium, 4 o'clock, the kickoff on Saturday afternoon. And then the evening affair that you can hear on the radio right here on KPUG. The Linden Lions, your Northwest Conference champions in the 2A ranks, bring their 8-2 record to Civic Stadium. They'll take on Interlake, and at 6-4, I was a little bit surprised to hear that you talked to Coach Kurt Cramey, and all coaches are worried about matchups no matter when they occur, but 6-4 didn't shock me, and he's worried that this Interlake team is awfully tough.
They just beat North Mason in a play-in game the other night. The coach was there, had up-close seats, and he'll tell us a little bit about this team from Interlake.
They play in a 3A league. They're the only 2A school in a 3A league, and they were quite successful in that league. They have the leading quarterback in the league as far as throwing stats, leading receiver. I believe the leading rusher as well. So, they're a quality team. They probably should have won the game. They were playing on Tuesday by about a score of 45 or so to 0. But North Mason did some things okay. No, they're a very good team, and we did not get a very good first-round draw.
So there you have it. That is the Linden Lions squaring off with Interlake. Another matchup at Civic Stadium. That one kicking off at 7 o'clock. You can hear all the action here on KPUG beginning at 6:35 with the pregame show. Once again, your 3 radio games out of the 5 matchups here involving Whatcom County teams. Friday night, 7:30 it is. The Ferndale Golden Eagles taking on West Seattle right here on KPUG. Saturday afternoon, it is Nooksack Valley taking on Forks with a 2 o'clock kickoff over in our sister station, KGMI. And then Saturday night, 7 o'clock, the kickoff, Linden taking on Interlake. All those games from Civic Stadium. Lo and behold, there you have it. That's your Video Zone preview of the upcoming playoffs.